China's job crisis is forcing middle-aged workers to face a desperate reality.
It's really hard why, after just a month since I left my job, it feels like I'll never find work again. It's as if now every minute I spend not working is filled with guilt, as if not having a job is a huge sin. They think I'm just lamenting, crying every time something happens, but I don't know if anyone else feels the same. It's like you're going through this. It's really very hard because I feel like I don't deserve to be here, and I don't even dare to be here. Everyone else is working, and only you are at home. Only you aren't doing something considered serious. You're not doing something formal, something that has a return. Everything you're doing now is just play, but actually it's being a waste. They always say they're not pressuring me. They say I can look for a job at my own pace. And if I don't find one, I can come back. Now, it's been just over a week, and it's not that I haven't sent resumes, but I really haven't seen anything very suitable. I don't want to just take any job because taking any job really brings painful consequences. It feels so bad. What should I do? Why is it so painful?
Today, we're diving once again into the growing despair among the Chinese regarding the job market, a situation that continues to worsen. From mass layoffs at tech giants to the closure of small and medium-sized enterprises, the impact is being felt across the entire country. China, known for its rapid growth and central role in the global economy, is now facing an increasingly grim reality. While this economic crisis is affecting various parts of the world, it is in China that we see a true laboratory for global crises, where the most severe consequences manifest first. What's happening there could be a harbinger of what the future holds for other economies. Let's explore this disturbing reality, analyze its causes, and understand the implications for the rest of the world.
If you feel that life is really hard, almost unbearable, then come and see how our life is. My husband and I are both from the 80s generation, both with a university degree, and now we are both unemployed. To prevent our children from becoming left behind kids, we've always kept them with us. We have 2 children. The eldest is in kindergarten, and each semester's tuition is over 12,000 yuan. The youngest, because he's not yet old enough for kindergarten, is in a daycare that costs 3,500 yuan per month. My father-in-law had a stroke, and we give him 1,500 yuan a month for his living expenses. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer this year, and after her surgery, she has been undergoing chemotherapy. Each chemotherapy session, after insurance, still costs us over 7,000 yuan out of pocket. We don't know how many more sessions she'll need, and after chemotherapy, there will be additional costs. We can't estimate all the expenses, but they arise every day. Both of us come from rural areas, so by saving as much as possible, we managed to buy a 60-plus square meter apartment in Hefei, a new first-tier city. We took out a 30-year mortgage, and so far we've only paid off 8 years. The monthly mortgage payment is over 3,000 yuan. We also have a car, and the monthly payment is over 1,000 yuan, but we'll have it paid off by July this year. However, facing these enormous daily expenses, both of us are unemployed, so we can't afford to rest. Recently, my husband spends the mornings going to job interviews, and in the afternoons, he works as a food delivery driver and takes on express deliveries, doing whatever he can to earn some stable income. In the past few days, the daycare for our younger child requested another payment, so my husband went to work on a construction site yesterday afternoon, knocking down walls for a renovation crew. He said he could earn 300 to 500 yuan in an afternoon, so he decided to do that regularly in the afternoons. He doesn't get home until around 6 or 7 p.m. As for me, after dropping the kids off at school, I go to a courier shop to help sort packages. When the kids get out of school, I pick them up, wash clothes, cook dinner, and do housework, waiting for my husband so we can eat together. After dinner, he watches the kids and puts them to bed, while I go out to work at a canteen. I work from 8 p.m. to midnight, 4 hours. I usually get home around 1 a.m. When I get home, I take a shower and barely sleep before it's time to get up again. My husband now also delivers fresh milk every morning. He wakes up at 3 a.m., goes to the pickup station, and then delivers to various communities. He finishes around 7 a.m., comes home, washes up, and without any time to rest, heads out to work again. So, the two of us are now working around the clock 24 hours a day non-stop. People often say that life in middle age is worse than that of a dog. And for us, that's truly the case. So, if you feel like your life isn't going well, come and see ours.
I never imagined that the two of us, guys born in 1997, would end up crying on the streets of Hefei, making everyone laugh at us. It's really so embarrassing. Sometimes, I feel like this isn't even my life. It's just too humiliating. Such a shame. So many people saw it. Here in Hefei, we can't even find a decent job now. It's really hard to find one. Yes, he has a university degree while I graduated from a technical college. I didn't want to say this, but even an ordinary job that pays 4,000 or 5,000 yuan, we would definitely get. We're young guys, we would definitely find something. But we just got married, we have the pressure of a mortgage and car loan. And a job that pays 4,000 or 5,000 yuan isn't what we want. We don't want to do that. I have a mortgage of 4,000 yuan per month, and you? I'm not just talking about the mortgage, I'm talking about all the fixed expenses, the mortgage, car loan, money for the kids' milk. My monthly expenses add up to at least 10,000 yuan. About 7,000 or 8,000 yuan per month, more or less. How do you expect me to take a job that pays 4,000 or 5,000? Yes, how can I survive on 4,000 or 5,000? What should I do? So, we're both getting by doing odd jobs every day. We're two college graduates, one from a university and one from a technical college, doing odd jobs together. To be honest, I didn't want to talk about this, but it's really tough. The pressure is huge. Today, we're not in some successful online marketplace. It's just that the pressure is really overwhelming and we wanted to vent. We hope you understand. Thank you. This is a real story, and even now, our situation isn't easy. It's not easy. We don't have jobs at the moment. We invite you to leave comments below the video, talking about your current situation, or giving us some guidance. Thank you very much, really. If anyone is going through the same thing as us, we can share ideas in the comments.
This is really so funny. Sai, I'm really so tired. It's already past 3 a.m. and I don't feel sleepy at all. I really just want to find a place to cry my heart out. Seriously, look at our situation now. My husband is unemployed again, my mother is undergoing chemotherapy for cancer, my father-in-law had a stroke and can't take care of himself, and now he's partially paralyzed. We have to pay someone to care for him at home, which costs 6,000 yuan a month. And our two kids are so young with no one to look after them. The older one goes to kindergarten, and the younger one is in daycare. The pressure on our family is just too much. On top of that, we still have a mortgage, with more than 3,800 yuan to pay each month. The pressure feels overwhelming. I never thought that reaching middle age would lead to a life like this. The kids are still young, and the elders are already getting sick. Honestly, in this tough economic environment, and with unemployment, life is becoming unbearable. I really can't hold back the tears. I just want to cry so badly. I'm so tired, I don't know how life ended up like this. I feel like I don't even have the will to keep going. Every day, I work several jobs, and the money I earn still isn't enough to cover the household expenses. Do you know how much it costs for chemotherapy in the hospital? Do you know how much it costs each month to care for someone who's partially paralyzed? And we still have 2 young children and this fixed mortgage to pay. I feel like life. Is there anyone who can help me find a job? Friends passing by, friends in Hefei. Is there anyone who can offer me a stable job? I'm so tired, so very tired. Comrades, today I'll only monitor the market for 10 minutes to check the account. And then there's no need to waste any more time. Just looking at that account without making any moves, just watching the branch account. I've lost patience, so I went to chat with a former colleague from the travel industry, who opened a stock trading account last year. Last year, when the market was down, we all lost a lot of money, but he managed to make 30,000 yuan. At the time, I wasn't too pleased and thought he was in a novice protection phase. So today, since I had some time, I asked how he was doing now. Let me tell you, I advised him at the time not to trade. And that was the right advice, but he didn't listen. When you don't listen, what happens? So far this year, he has lost over 110,000 yuan, because his total capital was around 400,000 yuan. And losing over 110,000 yuan means he lost 30%. 1.1s. But those of us who trade stocks know that this year basically everyone has lost around 30%, that's the average. But losing over 110,000 yuan, how do you deal with that? Every family has its own circumstances. His wife doesn't work because they have 2 young children who need care. So she is a full-time mom, and the family of 4 relies solely on him. When we worked together in the travel industry, he was responsible for the Thailand-Singapore-Malaysia line. Back then the market was good, and I admit the income was high, but after all this pandemic and with the economic downturn, he doesn't earn what he used to. He invested 400,000 yuan and, in just a year, has already lost over 110,000 yuan. The worst part is that, apart from him, no one else in the family can earn money. I've really noticed that many middle-aged people turn to stock trading out of desperation, because they have no other options. As they get older, no one wants them in the job market. And before, when they were earning well, now they can't bring themselves to work as delivery drivers, rideshare drivers, or do other jobs. So what do? They end up trading stocks because there's no entry barrier. Anyone can open an account and start trading. But when you actually start, you realize that even if you just stayed home without doing anything, only eating and drinking, you'd still be in a better position than 99% of investors.
What's going on today? The time hasn't even reached the halfway mark, and major internet companies have already gone through layoffs. Alibaba laid off about 14,000 people between January and April, and ByteDance seems to no longer need so many people to keep up with the pace. They've reached the point where they can't lay off any more staff. Recently, Donggu, who has become famous online, has redefined what it means to be a brother, saying that those who don't strive when performance is poor are not his brothers. I was always optimistic about Ideal Automotive, which also claimed that the second quarter would be the toughest and that the number of layoffs might exceed 10,000. So what's happening in society? I asked friends in the internet industry around me, and it seems like everyone is struggling. Some have already been laid off and are looking for jobs, sending resumes with no feedback, and some haven't been laid off yet, but their workloads have doubled compared to before. The people who used to handle those tasks have already been let go. In the past, when we discussed the internet, we talked about what the next big opportunities would be, which companies would become unicorns, and the salaries and benefits at major internet companies. Now, the question is whether you've been laid off or not. It seems that having a job where you can receive your salary on time is already very good, and people are no longer willing to take risks. This is the current state of affairs. But I want to tell everyone that this might just be the beginning, because July is approaching, and over 10 million university graduates will soon enter the job market. How will such a large number of job seekers be accommodated? Workers who have been laid off are struggling to find jobs, and recent graduates may end up unemployed right after graduation. Will everyone have to work as delivery drivers or app drivers? The problem is that the market for delivery drivers and app drivers is already saturated. In this economic environment, people are tightening their belts and are reluctant to order food or use apps. This means that many delivery drivers and app drivers will also have difficulty getting orders, creating a vicious cycle. So, which industry is still thriving? If you talk about live streaming and e-commerce, I can only give you a thumbs up.
With high rates of layoffs and unemployment affecting all sectors of society, the internet remains one of the main alternatives for many seeking new opportunities. Even though it faces similar challenges to traditional jobs and the growing presence of artificial intelligence, which is transforming the digital job market, there are still many emerging niches and opportunities that could offer a new perspective. While some areas are saturated, others are expanding rapidly and may provide new chances. The question is, how can we take advantage of these opportunities and adapt to these changes? Your experience and views are crucial in understanding how we can navigate this evolving landscape. If you found this video informative and want to explore more about these issues and other relevant topics, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your experiences and ideas on the impact of the internet and artificial intelligence on the job market. Let's keep this conversation going and seek valuable solutions and insights together. See you next time.